From the Morongo Casino Studios, it's the Heidi and Frank Show on 95.5 KLOS and KLOS HD1.
Los Angeles.
Thursday, December 17th. You probably have already been to a few of Christmas parties or holiday parties, the gift exchange, the white elephants over at friends and families' homes, because there's so many to go to this season. And we know when we see Myles L. Berman, when we see him, it's always nice to see him because we know it's a big holiday is coming up because he is the Top Gun DUI defense attorney. And when you're going out to all these holiday parties, you're going to have maybe a glass of wine, some hard cider, like my mom's favorite, Dixon cider. She loves it.
Yep.
Some hard cider, some eggnog. A little, I just had one glass of eggnog, but that could mean disaster if you got pulled over and you didn't really know what to do. I mean, you're not intoxicated. Myles, hello.
Hey, Myles.
Hi. Hello, Heidi. Hello, Frank. Hello, Eric.
The gang's all here.
Good to see ya.
It's great to see you guys.
And you mentioned like with the eggnog or one little drink, because there's so many things that factor in. Like Frank metabolizes alcohol differently than I do. Maybe he didn't.
You do it prettier, I bet.
Yeah.
Well, the more you drink, the prettier I get.
And you do it handsomer.
And the thing is,
And Eric, you just do it.
Don't encourage him, Myles. It's like everything factors in, right? Like, I ate at the party and Frank decided I'm not going to eat. I drank because we're going to something else after, and I don't. So it's all that stuff matters, right? When you're like, I ate something I didn't.
Everything matters.
Right.
Not just what you ate, and of course what you drank. Over what period of time, weight, all kinds of factors come into play. The breath test machines assume everybody's the same, and that's just not the case.
And there's also, I saw what alcohol are we going to drink the most this holiday season, and wine was the number one. Now, I normally wouldn't drink wine throughout the year. So if I go to someone's house and it's like, I'm trying to be festive and be a good, guest, I'll take the glass of wine. But I might not know how wine even affects me, So I've had a couple glasses of wine. I don't even know what's
that
going
does
on.
to you.
I don't feel a buzz, or I don't feel like I'm over the legal limit, which is still 0.08.
Correct.
I've been lobbying, and they haven't been listening to my letters.
To raise it?
Yeah, like, come on.
Lift the cap?
Lift the cap. We got some calls coming in. Myles has been a friend, longtime friend of the show, and he's been on the show several times. So we know all that stuff. So there's people out there who probably have questions for you right off the bat to say, hey, Myles,
Sure.
This is my situation. Let's just jump right in. 1-800-955. 5567 is the number. Here's your chance to talk to the Top Gun DUI defense attorney, Myles L. Berman. Let's start out with Charlie. He was the first one through. Hello, Charlie.
Yes.
Say hello to Myles L. Berman.
How are you doing, Mr. Berman?
Fine, Charlie. How are you?
Pretty good. So my question is, scenario is you get arrested, you get out. Is it beyond hope to go ahead and call you?
Oh, absolutely. Feel free to call 888-4-TOP-GUN, right?
Right, yeah.
But it's extremely critical that as soon as you get out, you call, because we need to contact the DMV right away to stop the suspension from going into effect. Usually, when you get arrested for DUI and you're a .08 or greater, they're going to take your license from you and give you a pink temporary license. And that's going to trigger a suspension starting 30 days after your arrest. It just depends on 4 months, 1 year, just depending on the nature of the offense.
So it's never too late.
So call him, Charlie. 888, the number 4, TOPGUN is Myles' number, or you can go to topgundui.com and get contact with him there. Thank you, Charlie, for your question. We're talking to Myles L. Berman, the Top Gun DUI defense attorney. Let's talk to Ahmed. Hello, Ahmed.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
What's your question for Myles?
Well, I got pulled over for DUI. I just want to know, if I tell the cop, hey, man, I got Myles L. Berman as my attorney, will that fly or what?
Well, of course it'll fly.
They love Myles. He's saying at what point do I just, as soon as I get pulled over, be like, talk to my attorney?
Yeah, I think what he's asking is that what will the cop's reaction be if they hear our name or my name?
Absolutely.
Okay. We have a lot of respect for police officers, but when we're in court, of course, we're going to try and do everything we can to get our client acquitted, because that's the system. At the same time, police officers have a lot of respect for us. us. And for me, I've dealt with police officers, I'm probably 3-4 decades already. So, to them, it's not something that usually shouldn't be personal. They're doing their job. They're doing their job as they see it. And I don't think it's going to negatively impact you at all. But it won't stop them from doing what they're trained to do. But certainly it will. You'll probably get a reaction from the police officer. Even no reaction is a reaction.
Thank you, Ahmed, for your question. Let's go to Larry. Hello, Larry.
What's up, Myles? How you guys doing today?
We're good.
What's your question for Myles L. Berman?
My question is, hey, hypothetically, my friend who got a DUI a few years ago, who's looking for a job, he had a change of plea and dismissal of charges or release of penalties and disabilities. Now that my friend is looking for a job, does he need to disclose this information? Because I know laws have changed in regards to sharing the past.
Oh, do you have to share that you got a DUI?
Okay. What you're talking about is an expungement. And just off the top of my head, I can tell people that if you're convicted of DUI and you're planning on going to Canada, you can forget about it because Canada will turn you back. And there probably will be other countries. And I'm talking about if you're an American citizen.
Oh.
If you're a Canadian citizen and you go back and you don't disclose it, they'll impound, if you drive across the border, they'll impound your vehicle and put you in jail. So the expungement order itself indicates that any plea of guilty or no contest is withdrawn. A plea of not guilty is entered, and the charges are dismissed. And you don't have to disclose it. And I'm talking about California, unless you're applying for a government job and you're
or like a driving job, right? You would have if you're going to get a job.
No, you want to become a police officer, or you want to get something where you're working for the government. Beyond that, every employer situation is different, but since I'm not an employment lawyer, I can't specifically give you a blanket answer on what has to be done.
So I have to tell...
or your friend, I assume
right,
it's your friend.
Your friend, Larry.
Yeah, right, Larry. So if I had a DUI and my insurance company's cool with me now, because it's been like over 10 years or whatever, it's like you've done it that long, can I get into Canada now? Or I still have to tell them, it's like, well, it was a long time ago, but yeah.
My recommendation is...
Don't go to Canada.
No.
Don't drive anyway.
Frank, you can call my cell, but everybody else should call 888-4-TOP-GUN, and let's get it expunged. Now, expungements used to be automatic. They are not automatic anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, oftentimes there's a hearing involved and presentation has to be made. So it's not a rubber stamp anymore. It used to be, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
Just Uber, people. Come on.
Myles L. Berman hanging out with us. He is the Top Gun DUI defense attorney. If you need his number, write it down, which you probably should have in your wallet anyway. It's 888, the number 4, TOPGUN. Program that into your phone. Hopefully you'll never have to call him, but he should be your first call in case you ever do get in a situation like this. And if you want to go to his website, topgundui.com is the website. All right, let's talk to Bobby. Hello, Bobby.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's your question for Myles?
How are you guys? Good. Myles, I have a question. I had a DUI, but it wasn't from alcohol related. It was just I was on methadone, and I just wanted to know, how long does that take to get expunged from your record? Just because it's not alcohol, I was wondering if there's a difference or not.
Isn't that illegal? Methadone that's when you're being treated,
right?
Can't drive.
But I got in an accident, so my I don't know. I got in a car crash in West Hollywood, so the city sued me.
Okay.
He didn't say it was a prescription either.
Oh. All right. So is there any difference?
No, it doesn't matter if it's DUI, alcohol, or drugs, or any crime for that matter. Once you're off probation, then you can petition the court. Now, oftentimes we'll go to court before probation is up, ask to terminate probation and expunge usually there has to be significant reasons. But he raises another issue, not to change the subject, but DUI drugs is becoming so prominent now. And interestingly, the DMV doesn't take action against your driver's license when you're stopped. They take your license from you and give you a temporary license. Right now, it's only for alcohol, but they're going to start adding drugs as well.
What are you supposed to do? Let's say somebody had their wisdom teeth removed.
You have somebody pick you up.
No, I know that, but I'm saying after that, and I've got to go to work the following Monday, and I'm still on painkillers because my jaw's really sore. What are you supposed to do? I mean, I have to go to work. I'm I took a Vicodin so that my jaw wouldn't be.
No, stay home. Really, you don't need to go to work. Heidi.
Yeah,
all right.
the key is the key. Call Frank and say, Frank, can you cover?
I'll drive you. I'll drive you.
Yeah. The key is that the prescription itself on the vial, it talks about whether or not you should
operate heavy machinery. Which is your car.
Correct.
Thank you, Bobby, for your
Thank you guys.
for your question. All right, let's take one more. We got Mark. Heard they can suspend your license for refusing a breathalyzer. Is that true?
Yes.
They can just take. I don't want to do the breathalyzer.
This is a vicarious question.
Yeah, vicarious question. Yeah, through me from Mark.
Yeah. Yes, when on a first offense, if you're stopped and you refuse a chemical test after you're arrested and you're older than 21, they'll take it for a year. If you're under 21, it's a zero tolerance, so you have to take it if they smell alcohol. But yes, they do move against your license if they try, at least, if you refuse a breath or a blood test.
So can I refuse the one on the street and say, I'll take it back at the station? Do they still take my license for a year?
Great question. If you're older than 21, you do not, and I repeat, do not and should not take the portable breath test machine before arrest. If you're under 21,
you have to.
Yeah, but if you're older than 21, you don't need to take it. The cops are supposed to tell you that. You don't have to take it. It's voluntary. After you're arrested, then you have a choice. You have three choices generally: take a breath, a blood, or refuse.
Then if you refuse, that's when you lose your license for a year.
It could, yeah. The DMV could take that action. Now, when I say you have three choices, when we get our driver's license, you impliedly consent to take a chemical test when you're arrested for DUI. But people can revoke that consent. And then there's consequences, could be greater consequences both in court and with the DMV if somebody isn't careful and doesn't hire a good DUI attorney to protect them.
Which
If
is
we
a Top
only
Gun.
knew a good DUI attorney.
Top Gun DUI defense attorney, Myles L. Berman.
So
yeah.
which one should you choose as far as...
Not to change the subject, but I can tell you that we're getting a lot of clients from your audience, as we always have.
Yeah, we're real proud of that.
Yeah. They listen.
Yeah, that's my point. I mean, I've known you guys for a very long time.
Yeah.
And you've always asked great questions, and you've always allowed me to explain what people's rights and responsibilities are. On this issue, we're getting a bunch of clients who are refusing to take the portable breath test before they're arrested because they heard me on your show. Mm-hmm. This is years and years. So you have a great effect in people knowing what their rights are. Now, what was your question?
If I do have a choice of breath, blood, or urine, which one should I choose?
Okay, urine generally isn't a choice anymore.
Oh, it's not?
No, we've been beating urine cases for years.
Mine's just all beer anyway, right? That's all you're going to find in there.
Yeah, there are people that actually do that, but not into a cup.
It reads just Coors Light.
You should see any photos and videos of where they give them a self-urine test.
Yeah.
But
blood would probably be more accurate than the breath.
There's problems with both breath and blood. And so I don't really tell people which test they should take. That's up to them to make that choice. But breath testing has a lot more defenses built into it than blood testing. But like I said earlier, breath testing, everybody assumes a breath test machine, or the machines assume everybody is built the same way.
Right.
And that's just not the case.
Has the like Uber and Lyft and that type of business that is offering, hey, we'll come pick you up, and then they're everywhere and pretty easy access with an app, has that lowered the call volume in a way that's like the DUIs are going down because people are being responsible and taking a ride somewhere?
You know, I really don't have a handle on that yet because, we get the number of arrests weekly within our market. So
right.
I know how many arrests there are. And so there are arrests that are down, but I'm not so sure it's because of Uber. What I think has happened is that the police are now less resistant in enforcing DUI laws for a number of reasons. One is because of what's going on with the press, where the police are getting bashed, and it's not necessarily fair that the impact of what is happening. The second reason is, and this is probably the last few months, police officers get a lot of funding from the government for DUI enforcement. And so you'll see a lot of press releases and a lot of checkpoints are going to be coming up and starting probably in this weekend and going through the weekend after, a few days after January 1st, right? Mm-hmm. But the funding stopped, and so it's now picked up again. So arrests are now getting back to a level where they were before. But I'm sure that there's people who are taking Uber and Lyft who are inebriated, which is why they're taking it, and they aren't driving. So it's a mixed bag.
If you want to be aware of where the checkpoints are, because that's something that becomes public knowledge, right? They put that out on the police department's website or something, and then you check that, and then you repost it.
Yes, you got me hooked on social media years ago, and you told me at every Friday, unless I'm out of town or something comes up, but usually every Friday, sometime between 3 and 6, I'll post checkpoints on my Facebook page, and then it gets tweeted to your Twitter page.
Yeah.
And then
yours, actually, at Myles L. Berman.
Correct.
Myles with a Y, by the way.
Correct. And so you guys will retweet it, and so your audience knows where there are known checkpoints. I won't post checkpoints where it's not a specific location or specific time. But every Friday, they're there probably 50 weeks a year.
And if I get pulled over, I've had a glass of wine at a party, and the cop says, "Have you had anything to drink tonight?" Am I better off to say I actually did have a glass of wine, or do I just say, no, seltzer all night, officer?
It's interesting. Great question. When people are pulled over, they do not have to answer the officer's questions. All they have to do is identify themselves, provide proof of insurance and proof of registration. Now, having said that, most people are going to give an answer, probably like 95%. And unfortunately, people have no idea how much alcohol or what their alcohol level is. They don't know the number.
Yeah.
I mean, cops don't even know what their number is. So, they'll mention that they had, a couple of beers, but whatever they say, or whatever it is that they say, but whatever they say, that doesn't mean they're under the influence of alcohol. So,
okay,
it can go either way.
All right, just maybe.
So don't.
Well, yes, yeah.
Nope, nothing but water.
Teetotaler for me.
Going back to the caller's first question, if you say, "Listen, I heard Myles L. Berman on Heidi and Frank," and make sure they mention and Heidi and Frank.
Well, yeah.
And I understand I don't have to answer any of these questions. They'll probably get a reaction from the police officer. Oh, well, you may be right. I'm just trying to investigate.
Hopefully the cop's like, "I love those guys.
Yeah.
Have a good one."
Remember that one time I put your man where your mouth is? So have a conversation and forget while you're there.
Right.
Thank you so much, Myles, for coming in. It's always fun having you. Like I said, we see you. We always know a big holiday is fast approaching. So take down Myles' number. Put it in your phone right now. 888, the number 4, TOPGUN, or just go to the website, topgundui.com, and follow him on Twitter at Myles L. Berman. We are going to come right back. We are Heidi and Frank.
Back to more of the Heidi and Frank Show next on the Rock of Southern California. 95.5 KLOS.